Good morning. This is happening. Good morning, everybody.
Wild in the studio today.
Hi, Eileen.
Hi, how are you, Tom?
Oh, I'm excited today.
I think we should just get right to this.
I think we better.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody wants to meet the man here.
Fun show.
Let me introduce him this way. He has introduced himself more than 30 popular songs, but he's not known really as a singer, and he's entertained and been entertained by presidents and leaders all over the world, but he's not really a politician. He's America's most visible patriot, yet he wasn't even born in the United States. And there are golf courses and hospitals and theaters and streets named after him, and he has been selected as one of the most admired men of the 20th century. And despite all of this, most of us know him as that comic character in countless motion pictures. He is the consummate entertainer. He is Mr. Bob Hope. And we'd like you to join us in a look, you know, these very memorable and favorite moments of Bob Hope. Let me give you a little flavor for them.
Thanks for the memory of sentimental verse, nothing in my purse, and chuckles when the preacher said, for better or for worse. How lovely it was. Thanks for the memory of Schubert's serenade, little things of jade, and traffic jams and anagrams and bills we never paid. How lovely it was.
Mr. Bob Hope, we welcome you to Good Day, kind sir.
Good morning, Bob.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. What a swing you have.
What a what?
What a swing.
Did you like that?
I like that, yeah.
I come out of the rough pretty good.
It is a little rough in here this morning.
Yeah. I'm going to try it later today at Westchester.
Are you?
Yeah.
Great. You play every day?
Try to.
Do you?
Yeah.
How do you feel, and happy birthday?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're pretty good.
Do you?
For being up half the night.
Why were you up half the night?
Well, I went to Felicia's and had dinner.
Felicia's in the North End.
And then I wrestled with it for the rest of the night. We ate the whole restaurant.
You did, huh?
The chairs.
Yeah,
everything.
you do like her food, don't you?
Oh, I love her. I've been coming here for about 23 years with her.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
great.
She comes out to see us during our golf classic. And
You know, can we go back? Can we go back to the big broadcast of 1938?
yeah.
Did you ever think in those days that your career would go on and on? I know that's kind of, in a way, a dumb question looking back, but what were the thoughts going through the head of the young man?
I don't know. I was kind of mad at Hollywood because they made a test of me in 1930 when I went through on the Orpheum time, and they didn't like my test, and I said, what do they know? You know. And I went back to Broadway and I got on to 5 shows and everything, and after I was in Roberta, they said, come out and do Radio City Revels, and I said, no. No. I had radio shows and everything, and I was making a lot of money on Broadway, and I just thought Hollywood was for bad oranges, you know. And I just wouldn't go. And then they finally, in the Follies, I sang I Can't Get Started With You to a beautiful redheaded gal who later turned out to be Eve Arden. And it was a hit number in the show, although everybody thinks Bunny Berrigan
Bunny
introduced
Berrigan
it,
with the
you know.
trumpet, sure.
But I introduced it. And a Hollywood producer saw it and said, hey, we'd like to have you for a big broadcast in 1938. They explained it to me, and I said, yeah, I'll go. I'll buy that.
Bob, did your family feel that you were a success all the way? Did they think you'd make it? How'd they react?
No. You know, it's funny that you should say that, because I had my older brother, Ivor, who never thought that I was any good at all. In fact, he used to say, after I started in vaudeville, he'd say to my mother, he stinks. He stinks. And he was the head of the Sani Metal Corporation in Cleveland, and they opened this new factory, and he said, well, why don't you come out and say a few words at the factory party, you know? And they had the place de-sounded.
Insulated.
Place, no microphone. And I got out there about 8 o'clock, and all the workers are laid out flat from beer. And I got out there and laid the biggest bomb, and he went back to my mother. He said, I told you, he stinks.
When did he become a believer?
Yeah.
That was about 35. Now I went to Hollywood and went on the Pepsodent show, and in 40, we were just screaming we were doing. Went to Chicago, broke the house record, went to Cleveland, broke the house record, and he happened to be backstage when the manager brought the check to me, which was $20,000 and some, which in those days was a lot of money, and handed it to me. He looked over my shoulder and saw the check and looked at me, and the first time he ever smiled at me.
Oh.
Really?
And he started to borrow money the next day. And we started the Hope Metal Company.
Well, you know, you say 20,000. You know what it reminds me of? Was it you and Bing who took out, wanted to start a new company for this lime cola?
Lime cola,
is that a
right.
true story?
Oh, yeah.
Tell that
yeah.
story.
Well, we were, it was just before, I guess it was a few months before Road to Rio. And we were sold this deal about doing lime cola, which was a company in Montgomery, Alabama. And we both put $25,000 in it. And then we said, when we did Road to Rio, we said, yeah, we want a big lime cola sign right up there, right at the entrance. Oh, boom, boom, just, yes, sir, because we had a third of the picture each. We owned a third.
Paramount owned the other third, right?
Yeah, so they did it, you know. Before the picture opened, the company flopped.
Oh.
And we'd go to the preview, and when that scene came on, we'd go,
And aren't you a man who absolutely hates to be in debt, can't stand a bill? I mean, didn't it take Dolores a long time to get you to even buy a new house?
no, I don't think so. She never had any trouble inveigling money out of me.
She didn't, huh?
No.
Bob, how did you feel? Obviously, Bing Crosby's death was obviously a very serious and painful experience for you. I would love to know, how did you react to Gary Crosby's book about his father? You obviously knew Bing maybe better than anybody.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I think that I did a whole routine about it because I think that's the style today, to be provocative, you know, and selling anything. You've got to be provocative. When I do a show, I try to think of what will get attention, you know, and you do too. You know, you just say, what are we going to do? And when they sell books, they have to have something. It can't be nice, 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 nice. Nobody will buy it, you know. So they have to have something provocative, and I'm sure that they rewrote Gary because I saw a little paragraph from him in some paper said, that's not the book I wrote, see? And everybody asked me that question, and I told my kids after I heard about that, I said, look, write the book now and I'll read it, then work out my will.
You and Bing had a very different energy level, didn't you? Wasn't Bing mostly amazed at how you could keep on going? And
Well, we had an energy level because we lived different lives. You know, I wondered why Bing always came into the studio and got out of the car with his shoelaces untied. And I said, don't you have time to tie your laces? He said, oh, no. He said, I get up every morning at 6 o'clock and go over to Wilshire and hit a bucket of balls. This is before he goes to work.
oh,
Because he loved golf, and he was a fine golfer, you know.
yeah.
About a 3 or 4 handicap all his life.
Do you still miss him?
Oh, you got to miss him. Everybody misses him, I think. I do.
Well, there's a lot more to talk to you about. We have to take a break, all right? But when we come back, we'll talk about your leading ladies and your most special leading lady and your family. Very special family, man, Bob Hope. We'll be right back.